for a younger audience. Ladies and gentlemen, enjoy the show. Cole Fry, what's going on, brother?
What's up, buddy?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Who Would Listen to Us? Because really, you know.
Who the fuck's going to listen
to us?
Who
would, you know? Great to be back. We are here recording in Maryland today. We have switched locations up. We will let you know that in a little bit here. But I got 4 words for you, Cole. Pigeons playing ping pong.
Yep.
That's what I'm talking about today. We are diving in deep today, folks, with some pigeons playing ping pong. First, heard of them. It was 2014. It was
2014. Yeah,
sophomore year or freshman year of college for me. Heard about them from some buddies of mine, and went and saw my first show of them. They played with ELM at the Chameleon Club in Lancaster. And that's actually a dope little spot. They have a sweet, like, second balcony and whatnot. And but then we introduced you, or Derek and I introduced you to pigeons then too. And
dude, I just fell in love.
Oh, dude,
Horizons was the first song I ever heard.
Yeah, that was
it just blew me. I'd never heard a song like that before.
Yeah, no.
Like the wall of sound that Greg creates is just
it's
unlike anything I've ever listened to.
It's really wild. And so I took Cole. Dopapod was playing, and Pigeons was actually opening for them at the time. I think this was 2015, I think it was. Mm-hmm. And it was down in Philly, and at the TLA, I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And we got there right when Pigeons came on, and it was great. I think it was an hour, maybe hour 15.
Yeah, hour 15.
Great great opener, fantastic.
They're better than
but Dopapod still came out, and we actually did enjoy that show a lot.
The drummer they had.
It was actually it was actually their fill-in drummer at the time. I forget the reason why.
But the other guy was out.
They weren't. Yeah, he wasn't in, but yeah, he did a really great job. And I think what was that? Present Ghost was like
Present Ghost.
That song we were drumming, we were air drumming hardcore, dude. We were like, there's this dude standing in front of us, and he just he's one of those stiff bodies at a concert. I don't know if you people just go to a concert and stand still. Like that's.
Don't be that guy.
I don't understand. I don't understand how you can. I don't understand how you can stand still. So this dude,
I got too much groove to control, man. Like I just can't stand still. At a
he was
concert.
like just as big as us, like 6 foot, 6'2", just big dude standing in front of us.
He didn't look like he wanted to even be there.
No. It looks like he didn't even really want to be there for the show, and we really didn't understand that. And people all around us were dying laughing because Cole and I were sitting there air drumming, and we're like using this kid's head as like a cymbal. Like every time we were like air drumming on his noggin, and people were dying, and it was a great time. And we've loved them ever since. Then
we went to Dome Fest that following.
Oh yeah, that convinced us to go to Dome Fest. That was our first year. Yeah, when it was still in Bedford. Yeah, we went for the was it the last 2 years there?
Dome is home, man.
No, it was 2 or 3. Yeah, but Dome is home. That was a great time. The first year, it was really good weather. I think it only rained the one night. Night, and but then the next year it was beautiful. It didn't even
the whole time.
It wasn't even a chance.
That hot. Yeah.
It wasn't even a chance of rain. So it was a great time there. They put on some amazing shows. Their light crew and everybody.
Yes. Manny Newman, that guy does a great job.
Manny Newman
his lights are insane.
That's the best light show. Still, best light show I've seen to date.
I like to say I've seen some pretty damn good bands. I've seen Guns N' Roses and Slash and
Greta. I mean, we've even seen Greta Van Fleet twice. And
Get the Let Out.
I would still say,
dude,
the lights are just
I mean, I've watched plenty of live shit from Pink Floyd.
Yeah,
that's the most comparable.
Yeah,
because their light shows are insane.
Yeah.
That's what Manny Newman does.
Yeah, he's a magician with that computer and his program that he uses. We'll have to get into that.
Whatever you do,
keep doing it. Whatever you do, brother, keep doing it. You are doing a fantastic job. But the reason we're you like that voice crack right there. Reason we're here today in Maryland. I actually was able to. Over the years, I've always been we're drummers, we're musicians growing up. We've always been a huge fan of Gator.
Yeah,
Alex, fantastic, best drummer. I've seen live.
Same.
Like I haven't seen a better drummer. Over the past couple of years, I've only seen him maybe once or twice a year. You know, maybe if we went to Dome Fest, saw him a couple more times. But just you know, I just wanted to get like out there and like, you know, show my appreciation to him. And I think the one show that I went to, it was in Philly. It was around Christmas time, and we were coming back from vacation, and we got in traffic for an extra hour and a half detour. So like they had two openers. Dude. No, this was just on the way home, dude. And then I had to drive back to fucking Philly from Bloomsburg. So it was another 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fun.
And on our way home, this like apparently like this fucking cow truck flipped over, and like we had to take this detour. It took like an extra hour and a half, and like I was getting so pissed because there was 2 openers for the show. It was a crazy show. We missed the first one. We were there. We got there for the second half of the one, and as soon as I walked into the venue, I walked in from like where the bar area was, and the first person I saw, Alex. I fucking grabbed his shoulder, and and it wasn't even like, I just like grabbed his shoulder quick, and I was like, yo, bro. I just like geeked out for a second. I just like said, what's up, man? Got a picture. I still have that picture. We probably, if we could put that in the video, we will. But absolutely. Great photo. And yeah, that was the first time I met him, and I just told him how awesome I thought his drumming was. He's you know, he's just a fantastic guy, great guy to meet too. And then after that show, he saw me in the crowd and gave me a stick afterwards, and I just thought that was like, you know, I was on cloud 9, dude. I thought that was like the greatest thing. I like texted you immediately. I was like, dude, I got a fucking stick.
Yeah.
And
it's like every time you go, you get a fucking stick, dude.
Well, yeah, now it's not like I expect it, but
yeah, but still,
yeah. No, and actually the last one I went to, the VIP show. It was two shows. The one before was down in Philly at the Fillmore, and then it was a side room the night before. And the second set, I watched the first set in the front, like wanted to get the whole experience, and then the second set, I was like, I'm just gonna watch Gators. So I went around, and it was like an intimate set, so we got to like be really close, and I was just sitting right behind him. When he came back out, he like recognized me. I was like, yo, what's up, bro? You know, we shook hands, whatever. He got on and started doing his second set, and he killed it. And then afterwards, he was like, you know, passing out a couple sticks, and I was just like watching it. Like I wasn't expecting to get one, you know, because like you said, I'd gotten one, like, a bunch of them. So I was just like, oh no, I didn't really care. But then all of a sudden, I just see a left arm like pop back like straight behind me, and he just like flips a stick to me, and I just like grabbed it. I was like, that's fucking right. I was like, yeah. I was like, hell yeah. And so after the show, then I went up to him and told him about what we were doing. Told him we were starting a podcast, and I was like, dude, gotta get you on. I was like,
it's awesome.
Gotta get him on. So he's like, yeah, dude, we'll get in contact, and we'll set up some dates. The first day we actually tried to do this about a month ago before they went on their last tour. Weren't able to make it happen. No big deal. Got to reschedule.
Worked out.
Made it happen. Made the drive down. Wasn't a bad drive at all.
No, it wasn't.
So but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, we're gonna sit down with the Gator himself.
And like I watch plenty of drummers, you know, like you're up there with like Buddy Rich's speed, like he's just so fast, and like a lot of you fill, dude. It's just smooth, like there's no gaps.
Yeah,
it fills.
Yeah, and
it's just you just dance. It's like watching fucking ballet. Like you just dance across the set. It's just so much fun to watch.
Thank you for that.
And it's crazy. A lot of people say like, oh, faster's not always better, but like in this case, like
when it's smooth,
oh my god, yeah. When it's smooth and you know what you're fucking doing, it's
and it's when like you guys sound the same live. Like you sound the same as
if
your
not
studio
better.
albums, if not better. Honestly, I prefer your live stuff. Like,
yeah. Oh my god.
When I listen to you guys, it's always your live stuff from either Dome Fest or that Colorado show that you guys destroyed.
Yeah.
Like Poseidon from that one is like my favorite track of Poseidon.
Yeah.
But
thanks.
Yeah,
it's
definitely.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's interesting with the albums and the live stuff because, you know, most of the jam scene, and us included, it's a lot centralized on the live act, and we love that live energy and working with the crowd and you know, riding that energy. So when we do get in the studio, you know, that's kind of one of the challenges you face is kind of capturing that live energy. So it's different, but you know, not much beats a live show. So.
Yeah, dude, we've
Live for live music.
Yeah, that's I always say too, like, don't knock it until you hear it live. Like, a lot with music, because like I've listened to bands, and like even like some of the people who've opened for you, I've tried to like, I'll look, because I'm definitely like, oh yeah, I definitely want to look these guys up and listen to a couple of their songs, and I'll be like, you know, it's not too bad at all. Like, it's definitely gonna be solid. But then when we get there, dude, like some of these bands, I'm just like,
they kill it.
I was like, oh my god, like,
yeah.
I love that. That like, when that happened, when I'm surprised, like that's probably one of the better feelings of like going to a concert, I would say.
That's always cool, because it's tough, because naturally, if you hear a band on like a recording you never heard before, especially if you're kind of analyzing a specific instrument, you know, you just unconsciously kind of start analyzing, you know, the overall sound of it all. And yeah, like you said, there's plenty of albums I've heard where, you know, instinctively it might sound, you know, very laid back or low energy on the recording, and then you see them live and they're just absolutely ripping. And it's cool to, you got to kind of see things and hear it live to get to get a great sense of it, obviously.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Even when the first time we saw Greta in New York City, I don't know if you've, I'm sure
I'm
you've
a fan.
heard
I haven't seen him live, but I'm sure it's just
it's great. Dude, his voice live is he does a lot more things, and it's
there's only a certain amount of people that like have the ability to get goosebumps
control
when they hear somebody's voice,
right?
Yeah, and like I think it's like 60% of people, it's like something you're kind of born with. You know, it's either you have it or you don't. And when you hear him belt some of those notes, dude, your skin crawls. Like, it's the coolest thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, it's amazing.
Yeah, I love that.
It's like when you hear Whitney Houston sing "I'll Always Love You."
Oh yeah.
you know, for the very first time, I was like, "What was that?"
Yeah.
Yep.
Was that a voice of an angel? Like.
Yeah, and you get those songs or certain groups that, you know, even the 1,000th time you listen to it, you still
just appreciate
you get those
the vocal.
goosebumps, and it's great.
It's like the first time I heard Eddie Van Halen's "Eruption."
It
sounds like something from outer space.
Yeah,
like the Silver Surfer playing the electric guitar.
Love it.
Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, if you're wondering where you can find us at, check us out at Who'd Listen to Us. We by this time the video should come out. We should have a Instagram page. Facebook, I think we're going to launch Facebook too. And
you listen to us on
also
Apple
Twitter,
Music, Spotify.
Apple Music, Spotify.
Pandora,
we're going to get that stuff launched out. Our first 4, this is the first one we've actually done audio with. Video with.
Audio is kind of required.
Finger point. Jesus Christ. But yeah, this is the first one we're recording. We really wanted to, because, you know, obviously this is our big first special guest on the podcast. Hopefully the first of many. Hopefully we can definitely reach out to some other people and hopefully get them on and make stuff happen. But who'd listen to us?
Basically, if you like to sit around and talk about bullshit,
we're the people for you. Yeah, we talk about current
anything
shit
and everything. Yeah,
we talk about funny shit we see that day.
Watch videos and memes on.
I remember I've like told stories like when I'm like on my way to Cole's house, like I'll see something hilarious, and like as soon as we get there,
that guy smoking out of an apple the other day.
Dude, I pulled out of work the other day, and it's like a back alley in the back parking lot, and I just pull around this corner, and it's just this old man just like roasting an apple,
just ripping apple,
and he just blows it out, and I just like stroll by, just like nod to him. I was like,
I'm proud of that guy.
Dude, that's what I was like, dude, I don't know.
How do you
I don't know what?
I
was like, what do you
at all? I give nothing.
Dude, innovation.
Nothing.
When I'm old and retired, you best believe I'm gonna get high in alleys off an apple.
I think pineapples. Or a smoke. That's a little more difficult.
Remember that
to
pineapple
work with?
at that one at the Dome Fest, wasn't it?
Yeah, there
bong.
was. Someone was smoking it. They were passing around the crowd.
Yep.
They were passing
Innovators.
Around the crowd.
I hope they ate it afterwards.
Right, dude.
It tastes really good.
Yeah, that smoke was probably good from just the pineapple alone. But yeah, this guy was just
infusion.
He was just roasting.
It's actually infused with a
pineapple
Express.
But yeah, dude, I just laughed, and I texted Cole right away. I was like, dude, you're never gonna guess what I just saw. And I was like, dude, this guy's just roasting out of an apple, and I was like, good for you, dude. I just thought it was hilarious. But if you're also wondering, who Pigeons Playing Ping Pong are, if you're gonna be listening to us, if you want to check us out, they are a we like to call it psychedelic funk rock. Gator, how do you like? It's
pretty much
That's
what we got. High energy psychedelic funk. Yeah,
the funk, baby. That is what they're all about. And if you like to dance, you like to have a great time, definitely check out one of their shows. If you want to, plug your social media.
Yeah, I mean, pretty easy to find. There's not too many pigeons playing ping pong out there.
No, not too many accounts.
But yeah, pretty sure everything's just under pigeons playing ping pong. Maybe pigeons playing no, I'm pretty sure everything's pigeons playing.
Yeah. I don't think there's too many other people.
And I'm pretty sure if you type in pigeons and then the letters PL.
Yeah, that'll pop up on Google.
Right up.
It'll come up on Google.
But now we're on Spotify, all the iTunes, all the platforms musically, most of them. So
what's the one you guys have all your live albums?
Yeah, Nugs.
Nugs done now. I have a couple. I have a bunch of live albums. That Colorado one we were talking about earlier. It's just,
we're always adding some. We'll have a bunch of new ones coming up.
Nice.
There shortly. It was we just got off a long tour. Great tour.
Yeah. You did. You guys went out west, right?
Yeah, it was kind of a whole kind of range of places. We started, kind of all began with the Halloween shows, which we did us.
Yeah, New York.
Yeah, we usually do crazy, weird
I gone
themes.
To those, dude. Oh my god.
Right, it was Boston, New York, and New Haven, which all three were amazing.
New Haven's a great scene, dude. So many great bands that played up there.
I really like New Haven. I used to work there before Pigeons, but yeah, all three of those shows were great. We did our theme this year was Stop Making Cake. It was a Talking Heads
dude,
Cake
I saw that
mashup. It was pretty fun. Two kind of not random bands, but kind of random to put together. We thought, but they just have some great tunes, and we most of it was Pigeons music, and then we just kind of sprinkle on some theme stuff. But,
roll some stuff in. Yeah, you guys are, you're definitely one of the best. I would say, what am I trying to say here? Not cover bands, but like the way you guys intertwine different songs within your own songs is just, it's pretty crazy. You guys have a couple chords here and there that connects these songs that just fill and work so well. Like we've seen so many. Like we saw the one Boston show a couple of years ago. That was one of the greatest. That was one of the best concerts.
Yeah.
We were front row for that too, and that was one of the. That was one of the best. That was also pretty intimate though too. You guys were pretty up there.
Yeah, that was at the Paradise, which feels intimate. Oddly enough, it fits 1,000 people in there, which
that's
is
what I couldn't believe.
It's just really deep.
I couldn't believe
or
that.
really wide. Yeah,
super wide.
There's a lot of venues like that where we typically have a good judge of kind of you'll walk in, you can kind of feel how many people there.
Yeah.
But some of them really blow your mind. I love the Paradise because it does have that intimate feel, but there's 1,000 people there.
Yeah.
But that was a very fun one. That was presenting the letter P, and then we did a bunch
that
of,
was
so much fun.
Play that funky
Praise
music.
Praise You
was fantastic.
Paradise City.
Even threw a little Dopapod in there.
Yes, we actually did a little Present Ghost ourselves.
That was, dude, Cole and I just looked at each other. We were like
I love that because
we're like, what the fuck song is this? And then all of a sudden, you guys went into it, and the green lights just fucking started twirling, and we were just like, holy shit! Or like
that album hadn't even been out too long, so the reaction, that was kind of more of a small group of people being like,
dude, we were like, I was like, oh shit! I was like, all right.
But that's one of my favorite songs. We love Dopapod, so
they're good. They're a good concert. I've seen them a couple times now.
But Stop Making Cake. That was great. But then we went down to Louisville, Arkansas, Texas. It was kind of more of a Midwest to South run. We went up to Colorado, did 2 great shows. Yeah. Colorado's really great to us.
I was about to say, you guys always seem like you have fantastic crowds in Colorado.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a good music scene, especially in the jam scene already. But
well, you got Red Rocks there too.
Right.
That's just.
So we did 3 shows in Denver. We did 2 shows at the Ogden, and then an evening with VIP night at just this little 200-person bar venue.
Yeah,
and that was cool too. We got to interact with all the fans, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, after that run, we just got back from that, and now we just prepare for a couple big shows this weekend.
Tour. Yeah, you guys got DC.
Yeah,
this weekend.
2 of our favorite venues, kind of borderline hometown shows.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because DC's not far. So
Yeah.
we're just keep going, man. And
Yeah,
then,
you guys are. I feel like you guys are always on tour. You guys are always pumping out dates, pumping out concerts.
Thanks.
You guys are. That's what I love about you too. You guys seem like you just don't stop. You're always playing 2 sets everywhere you go. Like,
yeah, most of the time we do. I mean, you know, we're fans too. You know, we go to shows and we're big advocates of that. You know, if we're gonna put on a show and, you know, maybe it's the one chance, you know, someone gets to see us a year if they're a fan. You know, we want to put forward as much as we can and play as long as we can and kind of give them the best show we, you know. Some you know, we were talking about this earlier, just kind of off air. Some shows are kind of meant for a shorter act, and that's great. You know, they're kind of geared towards that. You know, there are plenty of bands I'll see for an hour and a half, and it's fully sufficient. You know, if it's because it works. But then, you know, there's some acts where, you know, kind of the more improv jam acts where you can kind of just let it flow more and let loose and kind of take the songs different places, and we definitely like to try to do that each night, and some long late shows, but you know, we just like to kind of deliver as much as we can.
I can't, sometimes I'm just like, it's amazing how long you guys play for. Even you'll play at 2 hour 15 sets and then come back on and play for, you know, another 20 minutes. You guys will do, you know, usually your encore is usually either one solid song or two little shorter songs, and and it's always fantastic. But
Thanks, man.
But yeah, you guys can also follow Gator on social media too.
Yes,
he's on there.
I'm on there. Gator Beats.
Gator Beats, everybody.
But yeah, we're all on there.
All the band members, you can find them on the Pigeons website or Pigeons stuff too. But let's dive into it, man. So we're gonna just go all the way back. Like, when did you first get into drumming, dude? Like, when did you know, like, I wanted to drum?
Yeah, I mean, I have great parents. They when we were all younger, I have two siblings. I have a brother and a sister. They were kind of, you know, when we reach about 6 years old, you know, they kind of want to start us to see if we like sports or music. So we started with sports and you know, tried different instruments and kind of just to gauge what our interests were as a kid. And you know, my brother, he can play anything. He started with piano, but he just could, you know, hop around. I decided to go with drums, and it kind of just stuck with me. You know, I had just a practice pad, and I had a little Mickey Mouse drum kit when I was like 5 or 6.
Yeah. I think it was freaking dope.
Oh, yeah. But I started taking lessons when I was 5, and you know, when you're a young kid starting drum lessons, a lot of the time it can be a little tedious and boring because you just want to sit down. You just want to rip.
Yeah. Just want to bang on everything you say. Yeah.
Right. And most of the time, if you have a good teacher, you know, you start with, you know, posture and technique, and then you do the snare drum, and you learn how to hit, you know, quarter notes and eighth notes, you know, evenly, and I can see how a lot of people, which I do see, you know, lessons can kind of just bore people, or they just want to skip ahead, but without realizing that if you just get through that stuff, then, you know, everything's way more fun and easy. Yeah. But, you know, I just kind of stuck with it, and, you know, I had really good motivational people around me, especially my parents. You know, they always did whatever they could and worked super hard to, you know, be able to, you know, get me, you know, my first real drum set, and, you know, my brother played music too, so we, you know, me and him would kind of, growing up, we'd play together, and, you know, I started playing in bands, you know, when I was 8.
I saw that.
Yeah, I posted a picture the other day. I was back home and I saw that framed. I was like, oh man.
Yeah, I saw
our band Hurricane.
Oh hell yeah!
I think when it started, I was 8. My brother, I think, was 10 or 11, and the other guitarist was 10 or 11, and we play shows. We played. You know, I remember playing at this in New Hampshire, this smoky blues bar called Stormy Mondays, I think.
Okay.
And I don't know how we even got the gig. I bet my parents set it up or something, and the venue didn't know.
Yeah.
So like we just showed up to play, and we were literally like I was 8 years old.
Yeah.
And they're like, what the hell is this?
You guys shouldn't be here.
Yeah,
right
like
now.
our parents are holding like our like instruments and stuff, like lugging them in for us.
That's great.
And it was a whole thing, you know. They were joking. They were like, "Let's get these kids on stage so they can get out of here and go to bed." And we were pretty good though. And like we played songs that were hilarious for us to play. We were playing like Purple Haze and stuff, and we didn't even know what it meant. And like we opened with like Red House.
Okay.
You know, and like
dude, that's a great Hendrix
played
song.
some NRBQ and some Stevie Ray and some Hendrix, and it was just we were really solid, and it ended up going really well. And you know,
That's
we'd play
awesome.
shows around New England, some up in the Cape Cod area, and I don't know, it was just kind of always a great thing. Me and my brother were always working hard and taking lessons. We enjoyed it. We were always trying to get better, and you know, when I got throughout high school, I was studying with some great teachers. Jeff Harrington, I studied with Dave DeCenzo, who's one of the best drummers out there. And I've just kind of always reached out to drummers to try to work with them and get better. And college came around, and I was super unsure of whether I wanted to, you know, go gun-ho fully on music or not, just because kind of nervous to take that risk and it not working out and not having a plan. So I had other interests too, so I went to school. I got a degree in architecture, and then, funny enough, right after college, I got settled with this great architecture, you know, based, you know, engineering job. And I get a call from Jeremy, and we had met briefly through like a side gig years ago. But I think you know, it was at the time where they were starting to look for a new drummer, and I think he saw like a video of me on YouTube or Facebook. Yeah, I was like, I know that guy, and
we wanted to. That's the one thing that we wanted to really get into and ask you about is like, you know, how did you guys meet? Met through a side gig. You said like, how was that transition like? Because now were you with a band before Pigeons?
Right. Yeah, it's a funny coincidence. So I played a bunch of bands, but in college, I played in a band called Lifted, which became Pure Motion.
Pure Motion,
and,
yes, yeah.
Which was my brother, a great close friend of ours, Ari Lesser, who's a great guitarist, also from this area, and was at the same school as us, University of Hartford, and then myself, and then we also had a couple, you know, different rotating kind of horn players. Jared originally was our sax player, who was unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Kevin Sapino from Colorado, he plays in a group called Envialo now. And kind of a bunch of other random people we've played with. And then, we oddly enough, Ari, the guitarist, went to like school or high school with Jeremy.
Okay.
So one summer in college, he's like, let's go down to my hometown, play some shows down in Baltimore. So we did, and then we got a show at the 8x10, which is kind of a venue around here where we kind of, where Pigeons that's where they kind of started up. It's the local cool hang venue. We all go there still.
Nice.
Get a ton of great acts.
Nice.
You know, Aqueous, PBR,
Aqueous,
you know,
great
Big
too,
Something, Frasco, all those bands all come through here.
Mm-hmm.
And Jeremy had a side project at the time called the 14th Circuit, which is a great funk band. So we played like a little side show with them, and it was kind of very random, but that was just, you know, that night we played with them. Jeremy and I just kind of hung out and just chilled at the venue, but that was it. Pretty much, and this was like 2 or 3 years later. You know, their original drummer left just to kind of, for personal reasons, just to kind of do some other ventures, which was gone great for him, and it was a very easy transition. You know, it wasn't anything messy or you know, it was all very you know, we were all happy for him, and turned out great. He was great in the transition. He helped me, you know, with songs and stuff. He was there at a couple of auditions and everything. But yeah, really smooth transition. Really kind of weird how it all happened. And but man, I haven't looked back.
I was about to say I haven't looked back since. Yeah, you guys.
It's been unreal. I haven't. Super thankful for those guys for bringing me in, but
well, I mean, I'm sure they're very thankful bringing you in too.
Man.
You complete the whole picture. You keep everything.
Thanks, man.
Everything together. But yeah, so do you know the originality of Pigeons Playing Ping Pong? Like, where does the name?
Yeah.
Where does that name come from?
Man, I'd love to come up with a crazy fake story.
Yeah,
That's
right.
usually what we do. But I like, usually if someone randomly asks us that,
Yeah.
Greg, or mostly Greg, he comes up with the
Some wild,
most elaborate, greatest stories on the spot. But the actual answer is Jeremy and Greg, who started the group. It started as an acoustic duo because Jeremy and Greg met in college at University of
I've
Maryland.
seen those pictures. Yeah.
Yeah, and they were in a psychology course together, and back in, I don't even know, if I were to guess, maybe like the 50s or 60s.
Yeah, that old video.
B.F. Skinner, he was a crazy scientist. Did all these experiments, one of which was with pigeons, trying to like teach them to peck either buttons or like something to do with like signals for possible like war situations, and they taught them through like pecking ping pong balls back and forth, and they were just in their class, and in the textbook it said had the words "pigeons playing ping pong," and
that's great.
And,
that's fantastic.
That's
really
at the time the alliteration
that's
was
hysterical,
funny.
Yeah.
And it's great. It's a ridiculous name, but it's
Every
great.
time.
You remember it.
Dude, every time I play like a song and someone will be like, "Yo, who's this?" and I'm just like,
Pigeons playing
ping pong, and they're like,
Huh?
What?
Oh, I love meeting my
Like
parents'
what?
friends or
What?
something, or older people who aren't like musical at all. And
Yeah.
they're like, oh, you're a musician. What group do you play with? Pigeons Playing Ping Pong.
They're like, huh?
They're like, yeah. Now I really know.
What
They think
are
that's
you
a
pulling
total
my
joke.
pulling my chain here?
What
Like,
is this-
who do you think I am?
What does
kid?
this kid really do?
Yeah, I always say that to people. I'm like, that's exactly their name. I said it's so funny. Yeah,
It's very
every
funny
time.
how it kind of just originated from just a funny little joke, but
Yeah,
it's great. It works well.
Yeah, it's fantastic. You guys even use part of that video in like the beginning of one of your songs.
Yeah,
too.
we
and
pop off.
Yeah, it's
We'll throw down a
real
little
funny.
B.F. Skinner sample during the intro. Yeah,
yeah, it's great. It's like it's very good.
Thanks.
Very good. So let's talk about the nickname.
Oh yeah.
Gator. Where does Gator come along? Where does that happen?
Yeah, it's kind of a strange step by step, but it was just a little kid childhood name, like a little father-son nickname, like
you guys were in like
Alex. Some people call me Al,
okay.
which led to alligator,
which
led to Gator.
Okay.
So weird genesis.
Makes sense.
I don't know.
You weren't like some tough kid on the play set, and then people were just like, "Man, that's Gator. That's Gator over there."
I was a tough kid. Although I was obsessed with like construction and Tonka trucks growing up, and we grew up in a condominium complex where there was a lot of kids. So there was like this dirt play area, right?
Yeah.
And I had all these trucks, and when I was really little, I thought I had like this little fake construction team of kids, and I would walk around this area with a clipboard with like nothing on it.
Yeah.
And like a hard hat or some
Hey,
construction.
what are you doing?
And like straight up, we'd have like these trucks, and they would be like building roads like in this dirt pit, and I would like walk around in management.
Being a foreman.
And no joke, like a couple times. One time, a kid came to the house at like on a Sunday morning at like 6 a.m. and knocked on the door. And my mom was like,
"We got work."
They were like, "Yeah." He was there to ask if he could get the day off. And then,
get the
yeah. My mom was like, "What?"
Yeah. Go home, sweetie. Go back to bed.
Like a couple weeks later, my mom drove in from work, and I feel horrible for this. I'm going to sound like the worst kid ever, but like
we all
a
were
friend
at
of
some
mine
point,
was crying, and my mom was like, "Ben, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And he's like, Alex fired me." And I guess his roads weren't straight enough, but yeah, I was like
You call this a road?
I was like
Sir, I
the
have a family.
gnarliest 4-year-old construction
Dude, that
foreman.
is hysterical.
Yeah, so
That's hilarious.
So,
walk
yeah.
around and be like, "You think this is a road? You fucking hit the road, buddy. You fucking get out of here."
I think it was just my dad that called me Gator at the time. I should have had my employees call me,
Sir Gator.
yeah, something
Sir
cool.
Gator.
Mr. Gator.
Mr. Foreman Gator. Yeah.
Oh my god.
But it was mostly just a father-son cool little nickname, and that was really it. It kind of went away, and then when I joined the Pigeons, when we were kind of in the midst of the long van travels where you drive yourself, you get into some long 15, 20-hour territory drives where you just start to lose your mind and just start laughing and joking
seeing
and
shit
stuff.
out the window.
And I just remember in the van one day, I was like, guys, from now on, I want you to call me Gator. And they were like, huh? And what? I was like, just do it, or something like that. And Craig was like, this is we're really gonna do it. Like, this is gonna be a whole thing.
Oh my god, dude.
And I was like, yeah, man, whatever. And
that's perfect, dude. Gator don't play no shit.
Gator don't play no shit.
And that was before I'd even seen that. So that really fired me up after I saw that. The Will Ferrell thing and the other guys.
Yeah, dude. That's
such a
I always just think of that whenever I'm like, I'm going to see Pigeons fucking Gator and don't play no shit.
I don't mind. Yeah. It was a total joke to bring it back, but I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, people have shirts and pins and all kinds of shit with Gator on it.
It's much appreciated. Yeah, the fan stuff with the it's great.
Yeah, I bet you get some pretty. What's like the craziest like fan gift if you want to say. Like, I know you guys probably have gotten like bras and shit thrown up at you. And
no, I mean that's always funny. But as far as like actual like getting sent gifts.
Yeah, do you guys do you guys have like a
We've had some cool ones. We've had like home brewers mail us like their own like pigeon beer.
That's cool.
Which is cool.
A pigeon in it. Like
like real
made out of fresh pigeon.
Bits of real pigeon. No.
Every bottle has one full pigeon in it.
We do not condone bottling.
No, we do not.
Pigeons.
No animals were harmed in the making of that beverage.
No, just no pigeons. But I don't know. Someone made us. I don't know. A lot of kind of art projects, really cool paintings. We've had some really like a bunch of awesome paintings sent to us. A pigeon candle one time was really cool. That's cool. Someone made us like this really cool pigeon wooden box that they carved.
Oh shit.
You know what? I remember vividly there being some really weird ones I'm trying to remember, and I'm just totally blanking. If they come to me, I'll remember. Yeah. But a good friend of ours recently, he just got me my own Gator and like engraved Celtics jersey, which is just unreal.
Cool. Oh yeah, that's dope.
Shout out to Mike. Oh man, I don't know. My apartment is just littered with pigeon artifacts.
Yeah, so I know. You got like a bunch of that painting, like the ping pong paddles, dope. You got a couple.
Yeah, I have a lot of ping pong paddles. A lot of
self-portrait, or not self-portrait.
Oh yeah, that's one of my prized possessions. Someone painted my face, but they decided to find it. It's not. It's not even. It's based off of a photo of a cat attacking my head, and like I'm super scared in the picture.
Like, fuck.
And like it's really good, but like the best thing about it is they found like the worst photo of me. And they painted that one.
Kind of a dick move.
No, I'm like, it's it's like bordering that, but it's just so ridiculous that I like. It was awesome.
No,
I was like,
sense.
I love it even more that they chose that photo.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good one they got for you. But
if I think of any crazy ones, I'll come back to it.
Yeah, dude, I didn't even see it, but like
there's a cool skateboard deck behind you. That was given to me.
Oh yeah, the Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah,
the
very
Disney.
cool.
Was that the Disney New Year's Eve?
Yeah, that was given me by Josh Levy himself.
That's pretty dope. I'd really love the fucking covers, the drum covers you have.
Yeah, so that's kind of become a really
those are
cool thing. The first one I got, most of them, my parents. It started as like I got one for Christmas when I joined Pigeons. They had a psychology one printed for me.
That's like my favorite.
Yeah,
that's still my background on my computer.
Yeah, that might always be the best, especially with the drum set because it's got like the spirals and.
Yeah.
But they started every time we'd have a new album. It was kind of like a fun like yearly gift, and then I kind of started getting them on my own and. The one I currently have on my kit was a gift.
That one's nasty. That is nice.
That was beautifully done by a great artist out of North Carolina, and Mike, I might get his name wrong, Hippolito, I believe, Mike Hippolito. But my uncle reached out to him, and that was a gift. And then I've yet to reveal that one over on my wall, which
dude, that is,
which you probably can't even see. But
that's nasty.
We're gonna blur that one out. No.
No, we won't. We're not gonna show.
No, I'm kidding.
One.
You can see it, but that's done by the amazing Lola Blue, who designs for many drummers, but most notably, she does all the drum designs for Anderson .Paak and Questlove.
Questlove's fantastic.
Yeah. So I don't know. It's fun, and I like having them after I use them too, because it's just like they're like canvases.
Perfect. You know? They look fantastic too.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see what else we got here. All right, so let's start getting into some band stuff here. Let's start talking about we want to like get a little insight onto like you know what goes into like a set list, like what you know, do you guys I know you guys probably look at, you know, what was the last time we were here, what did we play, you know, what we played recently, what we haven't played recently, like I know you guys sitting in the van probably the day. Like, do you guys have set lists prepared for like 3-4 days in a row, or do you just do them like that day?
It's mostly that day, but it's mostly Jeremy's the kind of the set list brainchild.
Okay.
He logs all of our set lists.
Okay. Yeah.
Geez, I mean, probably from the last. If I were to guess, I bet he has every saved set list from like the last 7 or 8 years.
Jeez.
Yeah. Wow.
As well
a couple shows here and there.
Yeah. So like when we return back to towns, you know, you search Philly, and you know it'll bring up all our set lists, and we can kind of obviously try not to repeat. We don't repeat any sets, but
that's
especially like we don't want to go repeat sets from the past time we were there. Maybe a song or two, but so we log those, and then Jeremy kind of night to night will put together basically a general list.
Okay.
You know, Greg puts in his input. I'll put in some input.
I was about to say, you guys sit there and you're like,
so,
why don't we plug this here?
Yeah, Jeremy will put together the bass, maybe a lot of the song list, right? Gotcha. Sometimes he'll ask, hey, what do you want to play tonight? We'll give him a few songs. But and then we'll kind of work together on the order. Jeremy works a lot, you know. Being a guitarist, he has more knowledge of kind of, you know, what notes or keys will lead best into the next song for transitions, as opposed to, you know, I'm not too like knowledgeable of the theory of that sense.
Yeah.
But he'll ask me a lot of like tempo. Well, he'll ask me like I'll put together kind of what jams can be inserted other songs, and what tempos can be stretched, and what would sound probably too much. So Jeremy comes up with the general, all the plays, and then we put together kind of the game plan.
Gotcha.
But and then we log that one, and it's on to the next city. We have obviously a spreadsheet of all our songs, all of our covers as well. Mm-hmm. So same with covers, you know, we'll repeat covers in general, but not too often, and it's not in the same city, you know.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there could be a time on tour where for that tour we'll be like, oh, let's play Abracadabra. We haven't played that in forever. But then you look at the other sheet, and it's like, oh, wow, the last time we played it, though, was in Philly. So,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So nothing too intense, but it's definitely, we keep it different every night. And then as far as when we play the show, we're sticking to the set list probably 85% of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe 80%, maybe 75 lowest, you know.
Yeah.
Typically, each set will maybe 1 or 2, maybe sometimes 3 songs will either get changed or omitted based on just, since there's a lot of improv, you know, on the fly timing.
Yeah.
And
how much of that do you think is in, you know, roughly you know, a set each night? Like, how much improv do you guys plug into your shows?
A lot of it. I mean, there are some songs where, you know, we're pretty much, most of the time we play that song, it's pretty much just going to be that song. That doesn't mean it's a 3-minute song. Like,
oh yeah, I learned that real quick.
Right, like
shows.
Like a song like Pop Off's interesting in the sense that within the parameters of it, we'll do different things, but length and structure wise, that one typically stays the same length.
Okay.
Even though it's not a 3-minute song, it's still 8 minutes.
Yeah.
But those are gonna mostly be same with
Horizon.
Yeah,
all those
Horizon
longer
kind of can. So those are two that will like sometimes those can vary because those are big jam ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Songs like Fun and Funk or Doc, where we're still ripping solos and stuff, but it's still going to be in that same ballpark time unless we're getting really weird with it. So you can kind of judge it. There are songs that are kind of wild card, like Poseidon, Ocean Flows, that could just kind of go on forever.
Yeah.
Funk Ezekiel, some other random ones.
I love that one.
Yeah, I love like watching you guys too. Like, you guys communicate to each
the
other.
nonverbal
Like, yeah, nonverbal.
Right, which comes up with anything if you're communicating with a group. It's
you guys
the same with like a
sibling.
sibling.
Though, like it's just a synergy among the four of you. You guys just kind of just know.
It's important. And there's different ways to do it. A lot of it's little signals. Sometimes, we have a lot of set in stone signals. Whether it's someone sticks a tongue out at us, we all know exactly what that means. Someone winks at us or something, that always means something. Sometimes in the moment, you'll kind of make more of a gesture or you just kind of assume it means something. But a lot of bands, too, will work with like a talkback microphone where there's like a mic on stage.
Yeah. I have seen.
We've
those.
talked. We've teetered with that.
Like
we don't do that.
I feel like you don't need that. Yeah.
There's pluses and minuses to it. There's times we're kind of discussing some things, maybe quick audible on song change between songs, but you always try to keep a flow. There's always going to be some moments here and there where you got to kind of figure something out on the fly. But as far as the in music signals and stuff, it's just practice. Like when we rehearse, like when we're home and we're rehearsing, like later today, like we'll work on some. Sorry, we'll work on some. We'll do a lot of like new songs, new writing, but then a lot of time we just jam and we'll practice just jamming and kind of like let's start in A minor and like someone take a part and take us somewhere else that makes sense. And so it's improv, but it's really kind of controlling. I mean, improv's not supposed to be like, it's having control of that where you can take risks, but calculated risks, knowing what's going to work. You can't just obviously go Spinal Tap, Jazz Odyssey, and just, mayhem all start soloing at the same time. But it's just, it ebbs and flows, especially live. We're working with the energy of the crowd, but most of it is improv.
That's awesome.
Most of the songs at least have some sort of improv.
Because we learned that really quick. Learned that really quick going to your shows. That even though a song is 4 minutes and 35 seconds on the album, shit, that just went 10 minutes long. Like you guys go off on jams and they're fantastic all the time. And it's a lot of the times Cole and I would be talking and we gotta be like, dude, they gotta plan. Like I know you guys plan some. You might plan some jams,
right?
But like you just said, like a bunch of it is improv, and so like that there just still like blows my mind even like more because some of these jams you guys put out just sound so clean and so together, and it sounds like you guys have been practicing them for months, and
and it's
that's the crazy thing about it.
Thanks, and. Yeah, we'll practice kind of more techniques, like I was saying, of where to go. Never really like, we're not composing anything for the jams. It's more like, all right, if we're in D, where can we go? Where can we not go? Or if we're in a Afro beat groove, like, what can I switch to that's more natural? But thanks.
Yeah.
And it's funny. One other quick thing is. When you're saying with the live versus the studio, I feel like in most typical situations with a group, you write the studio track that's maybe 3-4 minutes, and then live you kind of elaborate from there. We always kind of do it backwards, which a lot of maybe bands in the scene or a lot of improv bands will do is typically goes that way. We've always had like these 10-15 minute jams, and then when we get them down finally on an album, it's more like we're editing them down to, instead of like,
yeah,
it's almost, it's interesting. It's fun.
Yeah.
It's weird. Kind of editing down tracks. Not that you totally need to do that, but it's fun for us. And we like, coming up with those different versions of the songs where, we can have a live 10-minute Dawn a New Day, but we can also have like our nice like 4-minute version that can still get the point of the song across. And it's really interesting doing that process and kind of working backwards from a 15-minute song.
That's pretty wild. Absolutely. Yeah, I bet that does, to try and shrink that down to 4 to 5 minutes.
Because a lot of it's jamming, but a lot of it's too just kind of, reforming the song. So.
Yeah, building and quick. Yeah, did that die?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, we got through a little bit with the camera, but the GoPro died. So the rest of it, you'll just get to listen to our voices. Another thing with like coming up with songs, like how often do you guys just come up with I know you say you might start off with like a jam or something, but like how many of those like end up turning into get put into songs, like end up developing into a single.
Right. So it's all different in the approach, in the sense that a lot of the times we're just jamming.
Yeah.
And we're always recording our rehearsals and stuff, so when we go back and we look and listen to them, we can bookmark certain things.
Yeah.
And or if we'll stop at a lick and be like, you know what, that's cool, let's elaborate from there. Greg's really good at on the spot kind of vocals or vocal melodies, getting them going, and a lot of the time it's just working together, jamming. And a lot of the time it's Jeremy or Greg or Ben or any of us bring in a simple part, groove, or a lick, or send over the night before rehearsal like a GarageBand file of just, hey, check out this lick, put a little dance beat to it, see if you guys can write some parts kind of based on this, and it can kind of come from specific people. Sometimes we've had, especially lyrically, we've had some stuff that has just been like inside jokes from us in the van, where we'll just be like singing nonsense in the back of a van after a 20-hour drive. I'm pretty sure there's like parts of Fun and Funk vocals and some other songs were just us joking around, or like
I could see that.
Sukasa was like,
that's a beautiful song too.
I love that song.
Is that gonna be on the new album?
Ooh, you got.
Can you talk about it?
I can't talk about
it. All right. Almost got you.
Oh, that was good. That was super smooth.
I almost got you.
That was really smooth. I almost answered you. Which is great, and I love that song. And we like it's great because the lyrics are great in the sense that like they're awesome lyrics, but it's also great in the sense that like part of it started as just a funny kind of little inside joke thing that we would say like from this funny thing we heard where these people were just losing their mind, and one of them was just, this is our home now, and like we were just like, we'd always joke about it, and so like that's a really good, it's a great example of us just saying a funny line and Greg elaborating it into lyrics. Because I think Greg and I, either a sound check or rehearsal, were just, he started playing that, and I started grooving, and we might have even at the same time just kind of started singing that or saying that over it, and kind of started there.
And you're like, ooh.
Ooh. But it's just cool because some songs that we write are very structured. Guys, I put this together. Let's write some parts. We'll work on it together. And then sometimes it's just us being totally goofy, just jamming, and it's I think it's cool and important to have different outlets. So like,
oh my God,
so you never get stale or stuck, or if you do feel like you need to write a new song, you can only do it a certain way. I don't know.
I feel like I know what you're talking about. I feel like
it just comes naturally.
Doing a podcast like this too. Like I love we talk about, you know, everyday shit that we just see like on the side of the road. So like being a musician, like being open to just like all these different things, like, you know, you got, like you said, you just put like your comedy input into a song, and it turned out to be like not necessarily like a fun upbeat song, but like this beautiful like ballad almost, and so it's like it's just really cool. It's how like just all things just
that's how we come up with content for this.
Yeah,
like, we're just like I'm driving to work and like I hear something on a podcast or you know hear a song.
Write it down on your phone.
Spurs a fucking thought.
Right.
Yeah,
take a note
just write it down. I talk to my phone while I'm driving and just talk the whole thought out and just fill with millions of notes. Like that's just kind of how you do it.
I think it can be beneficial to have like. Because there's no right and wrong way to do it. Like I love, I love so many lyricists or you know poets or lyricists that do have like these super heady, deep lyrics. You know, like Jeff Buckley and like you know some Buckley. Robert Plant. Obviously,
he died way too young.
Yeah, I know. Oh my god, he's one of my favorites.
That version of Hallelujah is just
oh my
chills.
God,
his voice was wow.
And just songwriters who do have super in-depth, you know, lyric. Like I respect that and love that too. But then there's certain music, like I think with us, you know, I think Greg likes some great lyrics that are super in-depth, but they're also like very like there's like relatable stuff. Yeah. Like you were talking about, where just kind of everyday, because that's a lot of people resonate with that. You know, it's lyrics. And it's what fits for the music, you know? It's like, I love D'Angelo, even though, you know, there's certain songs where, like, you have no idea what he's saying. It's like, and it's like the greatest thing ever. And it's like, he's like the most soulful, funky man ever. But, and, you know, but then there's some music that really, like, you can just kind of clearly hear the vocals, and it might be something more relatable to you. And, yeah, it's you know, there's many ways to do it, but I think
like that's when like the goosebumps thing kind of kicks in for us, Cole. Like when we're at shows and like you guys do something that like, you know, we may have like heard a while ago, or like we've, you know, it's something new that we haven't heard. Like, you know, we get chills, we get goosebumps, because it's just, we know that like the band is just coming, you know, so like you guys are just coming together just as one solid unit, and it's just it's beautiful to see. And I think having that like gift of being able to like, you know, like you talked about earlier, you know, getting goosebumps when you know hear people sing and
like, 'cause it's
watch
like
music.
The band's like a living organism, you know.
It's
like
crazy.
The drums are the heartbeat.
It's really crazy.
Right? They just keep it. It keeps the band alive. You know?
It really is cool to just see everything come together and work as just a solid, funky machine. You guys just
it's a funky
roll,
machine.
just roll.
Yeah.
But let's
Is there like a certain band that you guys like to cover the most? Do you have like in particular like top 5 favorite rock bands that you like to go to? You know,
I guess
what's your first? Let's go with what are your favorite like covers to do?
Yeah, as far as covers we play, you know, I guess there's some music that it also depends kind of what works for the group and whole. Mm-hmm. Like there's some songs we absolutely love.
Yeah. Maybe
over others we play that, you know, we've tried, and you just, unfortunately, sometimes like they might just not work for that group, and it's just like you're like, I wanted to play it, but you know, but just not kind of working.
Just doesn't really fit in with the.
I think there's some like bands, like Talking Heads. I think was great because, they're sorry, it's a siren. I think.
Yeah, no, I was just making sure it wasn't
right
something
near the
for
fire department.
Yeah,
no, you're good here.
All right.
There's songs that. Certain bands that I think we can kind of dig into that vibe more. I thought Chili Peppers was really good for us.
Yeah,
you
too. Guys killed that. I watched a couple of videos of that on YouTube, and
and those are just fun to play because
they're just rock.
I love playing everything, but I just also love to get into it. And like "Suck My Kiss" is just such a
is such a good fun song.
Yeah, and like I love just hearing the crowd just.
Oh, when everyone's singing, everyone's singing along, dude. Like
you can feel that.
Oh, what's the one you guys really killed? Is it War Pigs?
War Pigs.
Every time
people lost their fucking mind.
Yeah, I've heard that about. I think I've heard that only about 3 or 4 times.
All the lights came on.
Those red lights,
was real bright.
It's just the real.
Yeah.
Those hits on the intro.
Greg just belted out the generous gathering.
Well, dude, Greg. Greg just being a front man. He's
a performer, dude. He's so much fun.
He's crazy, dude.
Does
his eyes sometimes.
No, that's how it's all.
No,
his eyes.
all fuck, dude. Fuck.
No, he doesn't.
I thought he wore those like color.
No.
That's crazy.
He doesn't stick anything in his eyes.
He's got the eyes of a wolf.
Straight up, dude.
He's a wolf.
I thought for sure some nights I'm like, dude, look at those contacts, and me and Cole are like, no.
Unless this is
do his
like
eyes
the
just
biggest,
like change color
unless
every
it's
day?
like the biggest inner band secret.
Jesus, dude.
I mean, yeah, no, that guy's not sticking anything.
The
in
hair,
his
the hair in the eyes, dude.
The hair is real.
He knows
the
how.
eyes
He knows
are
how
real.
to play. He knows how to play. The hair's real, believe me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, the fucking he knows how to just perform.
Yeah,
man.
no, he's great, man. He comes from more of a musical theater background too, which is kind of shines through. And
oh my god, yeah,
just a great front man. He really can
he just knows,
capture
dude.
the crowd. He loves having fun with the crowd. Like
Even
he
if
loves
you
just
guys
staring you
open.
right in the eyes, just
dude,
until you start laughing, and then he's like, "All right, I got you."
Dude, there's
like,
so many times where I'd be like taking videos, and I'll just be like scanning across, and all of a sudden he's just like, yeah, and just like right up in the camera, and like I love that shit, dude. Like you guys, even you sitting back there, like I know a couple times if I've been like front row. And I'm like air drumming with you because it's like a fucking sick beat. You'll like see me and we'll just like start fucking like headbanging, and
it fires me up, man. I love that.
Yeah.
You can always tell too, kind of the drummers in the crowd too.
Oh my
Whether they're
God.
air drumming or not, like you can kind of just see it when there's some guys kind of like they can even nod their head the right way.
Yeah.
It's like, all right, that dude's got some rhythm, or a girl, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's fun to see when you just know that. When that person was a drummer of some sort, you can kind of feel
absolutely.
Yeah. We can pause this for a second. You want to take like a rip or something?
Sure.
You can just cut that part and just.
Sure.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are sitting down with the one and only Alex and Gator Petropulos. We were just talking about, what goes into making music, what goes into set lists. We were just talking right before we came back on here. We were talking about like their album covers.
Yeah, their artwork.
Yeah, their artwork. Like who's basically like who does a lot of that for you guys?
Yeah. So as far as like for albums specifically, we've used a good friend of ours, Owen Murphy, who runs One Drop Designs, originally from this area. He's out West Coast now.
Okay.
But yeah, check him out. He does great designs for all sorts of bands, all sorts of festivals.
That's what I was just about to ask. Yeah, I'm sure he does like.
Yeah, he's got his own very unique style too. So like, if you check out most of our album covers as well as our soon-to-be next album cover, they all kind of have a similar kind of vibe. So he's awesome. He's really great. Everything's.
Yeah, you guys really catch like
unique.
the party vibe in your
yeah, it's very artistic,
sure.
but still very fun.
Yeah.
And very textural, and he's a good friend of ours. We've known him forever. He's a great guy.
Nice. Now, how much of the band's input goes into album covers? Like, do you guys say like, hey, like, do you guys ever like draw something up and be like, give it to people and be like, hey, like, can you do something with this? Like,
yeah, I think a bit of everything. Sometimes it's been we've had a really good set idea, and then sometimes it's just kind of we first want to see what they would do, and most of the time it's like that's awesome. Like sometimes we'll have an idea, but we'll still say we don't want to really ever hinder an artist or. Mm-hmm. A lot of the time artists are open to doing that, but we don't. We kind of like. Allowing them to put their creative side on the design as well as just the actual art. So a lot of time we'll just let the artist kind of do his thing and we'll see how it goes, and which has been the case most of the time. I think for the Pleasure album, we kind of had like an idea of a general idea of kind of the woman kind of laying down with the pigeon involved and everything. But yeah, a lot of it we really just like to let the artists elaborate. And same goes with our tour art.
posters.
We love
some
we love
fantastic
working
posters.
with different artists. Just because they have all their own interpretation of kind of
absolutely
the whole Pigeons Playing Ping Pong theme, and obviously what tour it's for too, whether it's winter or summer, you know. So it's, especially if we have a theme show, you know.
Yeah.
Those are always the best ones.
Yeah, your theme.
Yeah,
your
and
theme.
I love them too. I have a collection of all of them just because they're awesome. I mean, it's art. It's good stuff.
The Disney one was great. That Disney New Year's Eve show.
Yeah.
Was
Oh my God, that was ridiculous.
It's so good.
Josh Levy.
The most recent one you guys put out earlier in the video, or earlier when you guys could see, I'm repping the new Dawn a New Day. That's their newest single you guys launched. That's gonna be, I'm guessing, on the new album. But yeah, they just dropped that a couple weeks ago, about a month ago.
Yeah, that one was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Our first single that we dropped before that, King Kong, along with a fun music video we did with the great Jay Blakesburg, as well as the Here Come the Mummies.
Oh yeah, they're gonna be at your
which
DC
will
show.
they'll be with us this weekend. Great band,
probably.
Amazing musicians. They'll be jamming with us this weekend in DC, as well as Casey Russell from the Magic Beans.
Oh dude, he came on for the Philly show.
Yeah, we've had him a good amount of times.
That was fantastic. How going back to intertwining songs, how much do you guys practice with, and I know you guys usually tour with, you might use a couple different bands here and there for openers, but I know a lot of the times you guys have worked with, I know Aqueous a lot, you guys what's another Magic Beans you guys go with too. So it's how long does that take for you guys to practice, or for them, or do you guys just kind of play a song and they just kind of fill in improv? How much of that is actually
There's never any pre-tour prep with that. I mean, as far as getting a band to work with or a support band to tour with you, it varies. A lot of the time, if it's just a night-to-night thing, typically a lot of the time the venue locally will just get,
just get
an opener.
Yeah.
But if you're doing it as part of a little run or a support run, or even just a night, you could always have that input. And we love being able to bring, upcoming bands that we know are awesome on the road with us. Aqueous is a band that we've played with forever. Talk, back in the day, we've played with them. Them and Turquoise probably 50 times.
Turquoise, I bet was fantastic.
Yeah, and then same with Twiddle, probably played with them 30, 40 times. Dopapod, same thing.
Yeah.
And then, nowadays we'll bring bands, whether it's like Joe Hurtler and the Rainbow Seekers, or...
they were good. I enjoyed them.
Yeah.
I did enjoy them.
But whenever we do have an opener like that, Magic Beans, and we have, a member of them sitting with us, that's just that figured out that night pretty much.
That's dope.
And we'll either just tell them...
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll probably just give them a song to listen to, or what key, or,
Yeah.
Some songs you can just be like, yeah, it's pretty much just in B flat with a kind of one alteration, and they'll listen to it. Sometimes it's just kind of wing it, but
I'm a huge fan of, obviously, the key when you guys bring in the keys, but when you guys bring in the horns and
the horns are great.
Or saxophone, FU, those songs Whoopee, those songs that use the horns and stuff, just so fantastic every time. It seems like whenever you guys just bring the horns,
the hornists,
it just,
those guys,
it just makes
really
everything sound
Fest.
so much better.
Yeah,
thank you, I appreciate it. Yeah, it's cool to be able to bring in new parts, and it still feel good when you're playing it. A lot of time we'll be able to prep, and kind of sometimes it's totally winging it, but even in that case, people that we're bringing on are usually, they got a good enough head to know.
They get the general idea.
Together, they're not just going to come on and fool around.
Just fuck around, yeah. I think back to talking about that Colorado live set, that cover that we talked about earlier, and that Cole talked about the Poseidon one, and that's when you guys brought on someone who
he was moving to Colorado.
Yeah, he's moving to Denver, and he's like, I am, or something like that. I forget.
Oh, was it my buddy Kevin on sax?
Was it Kevin?
I think it might have
been.
Kevin Sapina, the first time he sat with us.
Dude,
He's great.
My God,
he just played with us again at that VIP
really
set.
Yeah.
So he played in the last band I was in, that little Lifted and Pure Motion.
That's fantastic.
He was a sax, but he's played with us at our Dome Fest sets, and
yeah, he's really
yeah.
good.
Shout out to him. He's got a great band out west called Envialo, and yeah, check him out. He's great though. Like we've played with been fortunate enough to play with a bunch of people and some decent names, and he stands up with everyone. He's great.
Yeah, that's easily my favorite rendition of that song, and it's just unbelievable the way that saxophone plays a part in that song. Now he can, you know, throw the improv in there, and
yeah, he did great.
But next thing we want to get into is you guys with the release of your new album, I believe, and also like your your Christmas gear and all the things that came out. A portion of the proceeds were actually going to a charity. Why don't you talk to us?
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that. How'd that get started?
Yeah, a portion of this last tour goes to Backline, which is a great new foundation for mental health and specifically with artists and musicians on the road and everything. And it's just really good stuff. And they're off to a great start. And it kind of goes along with new thing we started, the Dawn New Day Foundation, which we're so happy to be doing it and being a part of it. And basically we're just gonna set up situations where each tour we're gonna be able to take proceeds from all the ticket sales, and we'll work with different charities and different foundations for each tour.
That's great.
And, we'll proceeds will all go to them. And for this last one, it was with Backline, and we're pumped to, in the future, we're just going to kind of, work with different people and different foundations and different causes. And
that's awesome.
I mean, it's the least we can do. It's just kind of a cool thing that we're able to do and put ourselves in a position to do. Right. And, right. And when we're in such a fortunate position, to be able to, do that in general and just kind of be a part of something like that. It's we're super pumped about it. And we're pumped about just being able to work with new people and reach out to different kind of foundations. It's cool that's my favorite part of it, is that we'll be able to kind of vary who we work with, who it benefits, and kind of, come in from different angles. Yeah. Yeah,
that's great. It's a great thing you guys are doing, the Dawn New Day Foundation. Like you said, you want to reach out to as many people as you can. I think that's great, taking each tour and doing like a separate charity, like that might be located in like a, an area of your tour. I think that's a really great idea.
Thank you.
That's you don't see a lot of people. I mean, there's always bands that do that stuff, but I feel like that
a lot of people don't though.
Yeah. That's.
No, it really says something about like you guys' character as a band.
Oh, thanks, man.
Yeah, I mean, the fact you're just willing to give back.
Yeah, I mean, it's more thanks. It's more the people that are. It's it's obviously more the people that we're working with that are part of these groups. But when you have a situation that you can, it's kind of set up to be able to work out well, and it's good stuff.
Great. But recently, you guys, just the other day, when this comes out, this will be in a couple weeks, but you guys just announced your lineup here for your 11th year of Dome Fest.
Dome Fest.
Which is coming up.
Turn it up to 11.
What is it? Turn it up to 11. Is that the theme this year?
Yes.
Oh, that's fantastic. That's a good one.
Yeah, we're super pumped. It's our 11th year.
5 shows. I know you guys are
back at Marvin's. 5 sets of pigeons.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just our initial lineup, but we had a bunch of buddies. We got Spafford, Sun Squabby, Aqueous. The Beans are back.
Beans twice.
Litz, their hometown, La Special, good friends of ours. We just did a run with La Special. They were just
that's another one I was thinking.
They're
awesome,
man. Just such a cool, different trio. They're just so unique and badass. And I mean, there's a bunch of people. CBDB's a new one that we're pumped about. We've known about those guys for years.
We know them.
Yeah, they're great. Talented from down south.
You introduced a couple songs.
Fritz, they always kill it. Return of Broccoli Samurai. We're super pumped.
Broccoli.
Then we've been doing the All-Star Jam, and then
that'll be cool.
we all got our own things going on. Greg does Scrambled Greg, which is awesome.
Yeah, you're gonna. I'm guessing you're gonna play.
Yeah,
with
Pure Motion will be doing a set, and Schwa will be doing a set. So
nice.
Yeah, there's
now, what's
super happy for Jeremy and Greg. I mean, among many other people that helping hands along the way, they're definitely the brainchild of everything. So they're pumped for them. They got even more great artists to announce. So
yeah. What's the date for that again? It's like the 15th and 17th?
Yeah, 15th, 17th.
Yeah, check it out. You can find details
Marvin's
for
Mountaintop,
that. PigeonsPlayingPingPong.com, Domefest.
Yeah.
Search it up. It'll pop up.
They have its own Facebook page, too, and Instagram.
Facebook and Instagram, yep. Great festival. We, like Cole said earlier, we went to Domefest when it was still in Bedford.
Oh man,
that was a great venue. It was like
those were my first Dome Fest.
It was up in the mountains. Very, very nice place. The stage was awesome. It was like in the back of trees, and they had the big grass field and like the tree setting behind it, and it was just a really beautiful place. But now you guys are Marvin's, but obviously more space.
Yeah, it's super special spot. You know, the guys had originally been to those All Good festivals when they were back there. And great spot, lots of open room. Yeah, you can kind of just no constrictions there, and it's just really cool. There's a lot of cool views.
Yeah, and, a lot of pictures. It just looked really beautiful.
Yeah, couldn't have gone better last year. So
it's just a great environment, though. It's just everyone's just so friendly. Everyone's so nice. You know, everyone's just trying to be there and just to relax, just to have a good time, and that's what everyone else is thinking, and it's just. Yeah. It's so laid back. You don't have to worry about, anything going wrong. And it's just...
Yeah, it's a great time. It's super, like you said, it's very laid back. People are like, I mean, like most festivals, but like people are truly there to listen to music too.
Oh, yeah.
Because like it's a lot of upcoming bands that we love and we want to showcase. And that's what you just notice big time is the people there, like they want to see new music and they're like really interested in it. They're not just there to... party and just chilled while there's music going on. Like we're gonna party, but they want to hear. They're interested in the music. Music. It's noticeable.
Yeah, we the first year we went there, we just like we said earlier about the light show. Like we couldn't even believe like the lights set up that because we saw you guys before in like a theater, but when it came down to the festival and the lighting, like. What all goes into that? Like, is that that's all Manny? Like, it's all his setup? Like, what goes into, like, the lighting process with that? And
you, like, pick the colors and, like,
say, hey, color schemes. And
you guys do like, the green and the purple and the yellow for, like, the funky stuff.
Oh, that's like the one
like, the ocean flows and Fun Funk's, like, that pink and blue. And,
as far as the actual lighting design, it's all Manny. It's
amazing.
That's awesome.
And he's self-taught on that, too, along with helping hands on the and people he looks up to in the scene. He's pretty much just kind of gotten at it and done his thing on his own.
It's insane, dude. It's insane the schemes he comes up with the different colors. He'll make it look like a sunset sometimes, and it's just like
and it's
crazy.
It's a lot into it. Is because obviously the colors and the actual movements are one thing, but it's also like the placement of the lights, obviously, and the whole. Layering the depth of where each light is compared to other lights, like the whole stage design. He's got a whole setup in his apartment where he can mimic the show on a screen. Where he's got like a digital image of a stage with us on there, and like much like many LDs do. But he really just gets into it deep. As far as like the actual setup, there's a lot of helping hands in place, a lot of production team as far as. We own a lot of, a lot of the lights that we have, but for bigger situations or festivals like Dome Fest where we want to maybe add on or make something new, we need to bring on more stuff or bring on more gear or put in more things into place. Yeah, there's a lot of more helping hands, a lot more, people getting it together behind the scenes. But as far as like the actual design and light show that you're seeing, it's all Newman. That crazy little man.
Yeah, dude. He's nuts with that laptop.
He's lived so close. Maybe he can even hear us right now.
Yeah, your ears twitching right now.
Huh?
Who? But yeah, I know I met him at I think it was the Harrisburg show.
Yeah,
last year. I saw him out. We were drinking and stuff, and I went up to him and I was just like, "Yo, dude, fucking love the lights. Like, you kill it." And he was like, so thankful. And that's another thing that's really great about your band is how like approachable you guys are. Like,
thanks, man. I think that's important.
Oh, there's plenty of people that I've heard plenty of stories where people try and do something, people just walk right by them or like not acknowledge them. But like every time I see you, it's, yo, what's up? How's it going?
Yeah, man.
Saw Greg the one time. Was like, yo, can I get a picture? He was like, yeah, dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
Like I said earlier, like I saw Ben just like walking around outside before a show and like happened to bump into him and just like had a quick little conversation. So I think that's huge, and I think that goes a long way with the fans too. Like after the shows when you're chilling by the stage and people are coming up talking to you, like I think that just goes a long way with
thanks.
With the flock.
Right. I mean, and listen, we're we get out there and we do our thing. We're Pigeons Playing Ping Pong. We got a great fan following. We're not we're not Mick Jagger out there. I can see how like at a certain level, like I can you can see how things can get overbearing and you want to try to always be your best, but like I could see how to a certain level it could get very
like I couldn't
challenging.
even
but I mean with us, like we love that, man. Like I don't know, you got to have the right perspective, and if someone like loves your music and really wants to say like hi to you or take a picture, give you a high five, like that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
there might be times that aren't as ideal as others, but I mean you just gotta step back, man, put yourself in their shoes. Like as long as they're not like drunkenly putting you in a headlock and like giving you
climbing
a noogie
on your back. What's up, bro?
Yeah, or like a wet willy, like love you, man. I don't know, like as long as you're not getting weird with it.
People actually do that shit.
Oh yeah. I don't know, yeah, but I don't know, man. Like you just gotta, we love that. We love, and after the shows, I love going out, man, meeting people. Giving out some drumsticks here and there, tossing them out to the crowd, give out a set list or something. I'll go out and hang by the merch table for a minute. Just kind of say hey to people.
That's how
I love that.
That's how I even asked you to
do this.
To do this, I
right.
just after the show, I waited for a bunch of people to come up and say what's up because I knew I wanted to like talk for a little bit, but I just came up and said what's good and talked about us, getting this podcast thing along and. You were really open to it, and I, texted him that night, and I was like, "Dude, we got a fucking chance." And like, so,
hell yeah.
I can't thank you enough for
sure,
having
man.
us down here.
No, man, it's awesome.
But speaking of like tour and festival, Dome Fest, what have been? You've played in crazy festivals. You guys have been in Electric Forest this past year.
Yeah,
Lock-in's a huge one.
Yeah. Right.
You guys,
Peach.
what are some of y'all? Peach Fest is always
right.
fantastic. What are some of your favorite festivals you've been a part of?
I mean, those ones you listed are pretty much up there. I mean, all festivals are great because like, it's cool to play little kind of tight knit festivals, and then it's cool to obviously play big festivals. It's obviously sweet when it's a lot of people there, and like Lock-in. Forest. I mean, we just did Halloween for the first time. That was awesome. Super weird, super cool. And Suwannee is just one of the coolest. I don't know if you guys have been down to Suwannee in Florida. It's a Spirit of Suwannee Park. They host many festivals. It has Suwannee. It used to be, they used to have Aura, Bear Creek, Purple Hatters, Halloween. Yeah, it's super amazing festival ground. But Forest is crazy too. Halloween and Forest are pretty similar.
What is that environment like at
it's great. Forest is cool.
Yeah, so
like
many
the lights.
Holy
shit. It's intense. Like the most intense with the amount of people who were around was when we did Bonnaroo last year. When we did a couple summers ago. It was great. Being an artist there, it's a little different. You're able to kind of I think there's like some more safe haven areas.
Yeah,
that you
sneak
can
around the back and shit like that.
Which is amazing, and we're grateful for. I can see how like if you were just attending something like that, it would be crazy because like some parts weren't too bad, but when after Eminem, when 85,000 people are like leaving to go to this other area of the park, it's crazy.
Well, I bet it's just
it's like a wave pool of humans.
That's insane.
Like you look and it's just like ants.
You see all these fucking.
I'll never forget like like a little chain of people walking through to Eminem. Like we're kind of walking up to get closer, and I hate doing that because I hate being the guy to like get by people and stuff and like step over people that have set up their little blankets and everything.
Yeah.
So I'll never forget like walking with this group with my head down just for like what felt like 10, 15 minutes. And like, we're just walking forever. And we stop. He's like, all right, this is good. And I look up and we're just like 2 football fields like away. we're still like halfway, like in the middle of the crowd.
Holy
like we got
shit.
through like so many people, but I mean,
My
it was
God.
just like mind boggling, some festivals. But I mean, yeah, Bonnaroo, Locken, Peach, every festival is great, but
not only just going to these amazing places, like I'm sure you've met so many amazing musicians and groups from these festivals. Like
aside from aside from the crowd, that's the biggest, probably the best part for the artist is that's kind of the time where you see all your musician friends too.
Yeah.
When you're on tour every time of the year, you might have an opener that you're good friends with. But when you got a festival and you see the lineup and you're like, it's all your buddies' bands. It's more like a reunion.
It's gonna be a good weekend.
Where you're all playing, but you're also, I love looking side stage and you got your friends and other bands there, and you have them up to play with you. Like when we had Billy Strings at Peach Fest. And,
dude, he's awesome. We were just talking about we were listening to him on the way down here.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
very talented.
I got to see him on my birthday last year. They played it. He opened for Green Sky.
Oh, that's a great combo.
Dude, I was like, bring back Billy. I was just like started to chant. Dude, he was so fun. Like so good. He's amazing.
His whole band is
dude, it's only like
really,
4 or 5
really
guys,
awesome.
and it's fantastic.
He's crazy talented.
It's
the way
amazing.
he picks that guitar
it's amazing.
Filthy.
Yeah, he's great.
Yeah, but like, you guys get to meet, people like that up and coming. He's really young. He's pretty young, isn't he?
Yeah, I think he's probably around our age. Maybe just shy of 30. But I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm also a really bad gauge of age.
Yeah, no, it's not one of my strengths either. But yeah, so you guys just get to travel to all these amazing places. I'm sure you've eaten some dank food over the place. I'm sure you guys have been to some amazing.
That's like some of the best part of touring.
I bet, dude. Yeah.
We love food, and
what are some of the best some of the best spots? Like you've had to go to some dank barbecue spots, like being in
Kansas City, dude. Kansas City.
So we just had a couple days off in Kansas City, and it was awesome. Really good food. New Orleans, amazing food.
Oh my God,
that's where my family's from. Is New Orleans, dude.
Oh really?
Yeah, all Cajuns and we know how to cook.
Yeah, we were just down there on an off day, like last week, and really awesome food.
Did redfish down there.
Yeah, everything.
We go out there fishing and catch like 20-pound redfish.
Really?
Gators and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, we had some gator.
It's fun.
Gator tots.
Bringing a 6-foot gator in the boat with you. There's a thrill about it. Yeah.
That's
I'm a 45 just waiting.
I'm a 6-foot gator. That's like me. That's like me in your boat,
but another
less
500
less
pounds.
Ornery. Ornery, I guess. Or whatever.
You got all them teeth but no toothbrush.
Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I don't know, man. There's really like good food everywhere. Like every city always has some really good hidden gems, and we keep a spreadsheet.
Oh yeah,
called the Pigeon Feed. And
that's great.
Yeah, we gotta update it more, but yeah, it's probably got like 50 different cities and places and ratings and little comment sections on what we thought was the best part of it. And yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, no, you guys, like you said earlier, like guys send you like beer and stuff. Like, how often does that happen? Where like you'll go somewhere and like someone will make a dish and call it something like that.
Oh, man.
Or like a new drink that comes out.
That's
or
funny.
something.
Every now and then there's some venues that'll work with bars that are my bad. My bad. That'll work, and at the bar they'll have some funny drinks, which I don't remember any names. But we also have been lucky enough to work with some. Our manager has a couple friends who are chefs now, and they will work with them where they'll come before the show and cook up a bunch of really awesome food. I don't know. It's very important to us is eating good. You got to eat good on tour.
Yeah.
Not only because we love good food, but you also gotta
need that energy.
You also gotta treat your body right. Yeah.
Get that carbo load.
Yeah. In certain situations for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, food's very important. Yes, it is. Bottom line is food is important.
Fucking priority. But I think to end out, you got any like wild stories? Any good wild stories, that you want to talk about, or some crazy shit that's happened to you on the road or at a festival, or?
Oh yeah, sure.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
Not to just drop that on you.
No, there's been a lot of funny stuff. I was actually just recently talking to someone about a funny time when I first joined the band and I didn't really have any experience touring, or I had played live shows, but just kind of the whole thing. I was super new to it, super nervous and hesitant.
Yeah.
And at that time we didn't have a crew, so we were working with all the venues, sound guys and stuff. And one of the first shows, I also didn't have traveled much.
Okay.
So we played this show down south. I think it was somewhere in South Carolina. And kind of divey place. And we get there. No, it was cool.
Divey.
I don't mean that. I don't mean. Yeah, I get divey is
smaller.
Inherently negative term, but I don't necessarily vibe. A lot of the venues I love the most. I
like
our favorite bar
too.
back home is a little dive bar.
So it's not a negative to me.
It's the only one that doesn't play Drake and stuff. So we can go in there and play good music.
We
can go in there and play Zeppelin or whatever.
Right.
People don't
play pool. That's it.
People don't get upset if you put on.
I was just home in New Hampshire. We took over this dive. No one was there. Put some Skinner on the jukebox and played shuffleboard. I mean, come on.
Oh yeah. That's the best time.
Drinking Miller Lite.
Bullshitting around, drinking that.
Love the dives. Shout out to all the dives.
Yeah, shout out dives. Keep it rolling.
Nonetheless, we get there and the sound guy and the promoter are there. And the promoter's kind of loopy. I don't know. He was probably on something. And the sound guy was this big dude, beard and ponytail, big southern guy. And they're just kind of arguing. And it got kind of chippy.
Oh.
And so I remember we kind of separated. We go back to the green room. It was like a closet. So it's just this little L couch with walls around it. And Jeremy's on his laptop. I sit next to him. And the promoter just busts in. And he's drinking a White Russian, but it's in a cup the size of a
32
ouncer, super sized McDonald's cup, and it's just filled.
I got that 64 ounce White Russian, vodka, baby.
Yeah. And he's going on about something. He's going on about something, and the sound guy just rips open the door, and just walks in and just smacks this dude right in the back of the head. And we're just in a closet space and they're screaming at each other. And then the guy walks away. The sound guy walks away, and as he's walking away, the promoter is yeah, well, F you, and gives him the finger. The sound guy just comes back, and just in this little room, just this guy sitting there holding this big gulp of White Russian. He comes in and just field goal just kicks this entire guy right in the arm gut area, and in slow motion this White Russian just flies up in the air, and we're in this little circle, and it just lands everywhere. Right on top of me, and we're on in 5 minutes, and it's one of my first shows. I'm super nervous, and 2 feet in front of me is this borderline fight with the people that are running this show. Jesus. And there's on the other side there's people in the crowd that are already there waiting to see the show, and there was no bathroom backstage or anything. So it happens. It's like, oh no.
Oh, dude, I would have been so pissed. Over like you.
Like, I didn't know what to do, and like I was still shy. Like I didn't want to yell at someone from the vent. Like I was.
Yeah.
So I was just like, damn it. So I just leave and I walk through the crowd to go to the bathroom, and like there's people all in the guys and all in the bathroom like, yo, like, let's go, like, you pumped for the show. And I'm at the sink.
Fucking like trying to clean yourself up,
like,
leave me alone.
Taking a sink shower. Because like my jeans are like stuck to me because I'm covered in milk and vodka. And like
milk and vodka.
And you just reek.
And the other guys,
the worst
like,
thing
the other guys in the band are just like laughing, like, just like, you good, dude?
Like of course, like that's
I mean, it was just funny. Like, that wasn't even a crazy tour story, but it was just like a super awkward moment where it's just like I was still super uncomfortable and trying to like do everything right, and then we're about to go on. I'm like going over the set list, making sure I'm not gonna like mess up the show.
Yeah,
and then I'm just like
fucking 64 ounces of White Russian
covered
coat your ass.
White Russian, like just dunk tanked in White Russian.
It's a fucking shower of White Russian.
I mean, another great quick one that I always tell, which a lot of people have heard, is when we brought on one of our he's now our monitor engineer. Our sound monitor engineer, and his name's Dante. And when he came on tour, he was young, kind of younger, 23, 24, and his first tour, he was super professional. He didn't want to didn't want to get drunk or kind of which he doesn't really drink much anyway. But he was just he was kind of doing.
Want to be straight up,
right.
Make sure you got shit right.
So like it was the end of a run, like where we had a couple days off after, and we were in Santa Point, Idaho, and played a great venue called The Hive. And afterwards, there was a bar next door, like people were going over. And he was like, yeah, I think I might drink tonight. I'm like, you're drinking? So I was like, what do you drink? He's like, he's like Jaeger or something. Because like he was still in like, classic college shot.
Yeah,
mode,
Jaeger
like,
bombs and...
like Jaeger and Fireball still. So I was like, ooh, all right. So,
let's bring him back, like rough memories.
So
we went through a Jaeger phase once, and I can't drink it anymore.
Everybody goes through a Jaeger phase.
We had the bottles lined up on our shelf, dude. It was gross.
But I take him to the bar. I'm buying him Jaeger shots. He's getting drunk. He's getting all... And we had never seen him drunk, and he gets like this crazy look in his eye. So... So we keep partying, and he's just like, he's going in, he's going deep, and it's great. And then like we get back on. At that time, it was like our first time using like a tour bus. So like we get back on the bus to go to sleep, in which an hour like the bus driver leaves to go to the next town.
Yeah.
So he, in kind of a drunken state, I guess, woke up in the middle of the night right before we left to go use to pee like inside at the venue green room that he somehow got into, and then afterwards he must have just like passed out or fallen asleep back in the green room. He like after he peed, he just walked over to the couch area and just like laid down.
He's like, that looks nice.
So yeah, right. So. All I remember is waking up in my bunk to Ben and Eric, our sound guy at the time, who was also tour managing, just like laughing hysterically, but like shock, like laughing, like almost like when you see a horrendously like Saw, like, or a movie like Hostel, where it's just so like you're just like laughing, but you're so shocked, you're like, oh my god, no! But like it's like, I don't know, it sounds weird compared.
No, I totally.
But like,
totally
and I'm like, what is going on? And I guess Eric got a phone call and was like, it was Dante, and he was like, hey, did you guys forget anything in Sandpoint? And Eric was like, I don't think so. What did we forget? And Dante goes, me. So he woke up. We were already on the road. We were in Seattle almost, like 10 hours away or something. And he had no shoes on, and he just had like his phone, no wallet or anything.
Dude.
So he had to, and it was like snowing there. So he had to walk. He like walked with his socks on out like in the snow down the street.
This sounds like every old like grandfather being like, I walked to school both ways.
Yeah,
the holes in my sock.
Yeah, it's like Home Alone.
He walked to a shoe store. We somehow got him money. Like we Venmoed him. We did Apple Pay or something like that. Where he walked to a shoe store in the snow with his socks. He got some shoes. And then for like an hour, we called up cab companies and stuff that would drive him like 8 hours to Seattle. And we finally found one. Got the guy to get paid, and He pulled
That's
up right
hysterical.
at the end of sound check to do merch. Just gets out with his fresh shoes, just looking like crap.
Like, you like him?
And we call him. His name's Sandy now because he has Sandpoint, Idaho.
my
So
God.
like everyone calls him Sandy. That's his name
Oh,
now.
that's
He even
great.
has a shirt that just has the giant Sandy face from SpongeBob that he wears. And yeah, we left him in Sandpoint, Idaho, or he left
my
himself.
God, dude.
And that was like the first time he like
That's too funny.
partied with us after a show.
That's
And I take partial blame, but
take partial. Well, dude, he wanted Jaeger.
I asked
You-
him.
you
What happens when
gave
you
it
drink
to him.
Jaeger.
He
That's
could
his
have
Jaeger
said
story.
water when I asked him what
Right?
he wanted to drink.
Yeah, he could have been like vodka water, and you would have
Hold
been
the
like
vodka.
light on the vodka. Yeah, he could have. He
But yeah,
knew what he was getting into.
between the White Russian shower and Sandy, those
Yeah.
are two
That's-
I guess decent
That's
stories.
great. But yeah, dude. Once again, man, I just can't thank you enough for
Yeah, man.
you know, I got in contact with you relatively
Yeah,
easily,
it was a pleasure.
Yeah.
and yeah, like we said earlier, couldn't make the first date happen,
Yeah.
but you were really awesome about rescheduling, getting dates, and
Hell yeah, man.
getting a certain date set down. But yeah, man, can't thank you enough.
For sure.
Hopefully, we can do another one here in the future. Maybe
Yeah.
get some other people on here also. So, but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you want to check us out at Who'd Listen to Us. If you want to send us emails at who'dlistentous@gmail.com. Find us on social media. This is our 5th episode. We're going to be getting these out relatively soon here. We're looking at probably about 1 or 2 episodes a week. We got 5 in the bank now that we're going to slowly put out. So, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy this. When we put this, we're going to probably put this on YouTube too. If you guys want to leave some comments down below, who do you think we should have on next? We're like
Always
we said,
open to suggestions.
we're open suggestions to meet new people, to get some other musicians on here, hopefully in the future. But yeah, Alex, Gator, Petropulos, everybody.
Yeah, super thankful for you guys. Yeah,
Pigeons
appreciate
Playing
you
Ping
making
Pong.
the trip.
Absolutely.
Come check us out. Pigeons Playing Ping Pong. Yeah.
Do it up. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope you enjoyed the show, and
Thanks for
we'll catch
listening.
you later.
Have a good night.